Hello, my peoples. It is I, your captain, here with another video. And if you've seen the channel, you've probably known I've played a game called Playbreak. Now, if you don't know what Playbreak is an asymmetrical game. I wouldn't say horror that much, even though technically it is horror. But aside from that, it is inspired by Project Playtime, but it's more so on its more original side, especially with the OC. Anyway, so recently, Eiden, the lead developer of the game, the creator of the game, has recently posted a balance patch. And this balance patch, honestly, is pretty interesting. Now, if you don't know, in his server, if you go in all the way down to suggestions, you can actually put suggestions that you want for the game. Like, for example, maybe you want to see a new Huggy Wuggy skin, or maybe you want to see, like, hey, this could be a cool map, or more importantly, balancing takes. Now, there are some random ones like, bruh. And there are some genuinely good ones. But I actually spent 2 hours making a document for Playbreak Balancing. Now, I will admit, in this document, I did not entirely think of new and casual players, because most of the document, if not all of it, is just me saying, let's nerf survivors. So, I don't think that they need to be nerfed that bad. I think there are some stuff I could have changed. Maybe said, okay, monsters can be a little slower with this, or that, just to balance it a little more. But Eiden actually listened. He looked into the document, I'm assuming, because one of the devs said that they would look into it, and they posted a patch. So for starters, let's look at every single patch there is. Alright, so first things first is, before I get into the more important stuff, let's go into the more simpler stuff. Perks. Now, survivor perks are special perks that you can apply to yourself as a specialist to help you and aid you in the match. As someone who has every single perk maxed, I'm pretty sure I could already check without having a problem. So, first patch was that medic got nerfed. Instead of being able to get healed at a total of 3 health at max every 10 seconds, you get healed a total of 2 health. Which doesn't sound like much, but trust me, that extra health makes a difference. Holy. Medic now heals others by 3 every second. Now you may be like, oh, this doesn't sound too bad. The original was 6. They nerfed the amount of healing by half. That is crazy. I'm not complaining. Medic definitely needed a nerf. It is the best perk in the game. It's self-heal and healing others that don't have the medic perk. It is very goated, and these nerfs keep it in line while also making it still an S tier perk. This is much needed. So now it takes longer for you to fully heal yourself and others, but still gives massive value. Now, the next perk is Ghost Step. It's not really like a balance or anything, but it has been changed to now be client-sided. So if you're lagging, I would imagine that means if you're lagging, that you'll be slightly faster. If you're perfectly fine, it'll keep the same, etc., etc. Similar to how Danny's World has client-sided lagging, where Twisteds are slowed down slightly if you're lagging, just so it would be more fair. I think that's an understandable change. And last but not least, we have dodge. Now, I'm not entirely sure how, I don't really understand the change that much, because it says that the perk lasts for 2 seconds regardless of level, but if you actually go into the game, it says that the perk lasts 3 seconds. I don't know if this was just the description wasn't changed or anything, or maybe there's like something different. I don't know, but either way, it is a still pretty balanced perk. I don't know why it would be changed to 2 seconds, but it's fine by me, I guess. Now, let's move on to the monsters themselves. Now, one of the first changes that the monsters got was that their weight was changed so that they all be the same. I don't know why different skins had different weights in the first place, but hey, sure, why not? Secondly, now, before I get into other stuff, well, actually, first thing I should mention that Huggy Wuggy can actually kill people now. Now it's just a bug. Most of the stuff was balancing, just bug fixes, fixing this and that. But the most important part is that the OC is actually a killer now. Yeah, back then, stock was completely useless. It was just pounce unlock, and all it did was like 1M1, but it also slowed you down and let other survivors just close the door on you. So sure, why not? Yeah, it was a very balanced perk. It was a very balanced killer, guys. Let's be honest. For being an OC, it was the weakest killer in the game. You think that the OC, if you played Forsaken, you think that the OC would be absurdly busted and barely nerfed or anything. No, I guess, but yes, they recently changed him, so Stocky actually is not balanced for survivors, but stronger than survivors. Now you may be thinking, oh, but it's supposed to be balanced because it's like a team. Like, well, you gotta remember something. Killers have to deal with the survivors' 3 heart system. That means they have to down them 3 times, to which survivors can revive them and reset the chase, as long as also having a win condition. So killers need to be stronger than the survivor, not balanced for the survivor. They need to be stronger. They need to always win chases. They need to always win no matter what. Not like if you work as a team, you can stop the killer, but the killer always needs to be the stronger person. They can't be balanced. They always need to be the stronger person. And in this case, he's finally the stronger person. Stocky now somewhat stocks. Now, what I mean is that before this update, Stocky's stock ability would allow him to quote unquote aura read nearby survivors, but in reality, it's just Pounce unlock. Pounce is Stocky's golden move. It's his catch-up tool. Well, it's self-explanatory. You pounce, launching yourself and hitting a survivor for a basic M1 damage that also slows you down and speeds up the survivor for some reason. So, in this change, Stocky's base attack is now affected by the stock meter, and the max damage he can inflict is capped at 72. However, if the player is fully stocked, they can be instantly downed. This means that if the meter above the survivor's head is completely maxed, they can be one-shot. However, this is never going to happen because you're not going to slow yourself down that long and let the survivors get away. If they want this to be an actual kit, they need to also understand that this is just never happening in a real match. The bar is too slow. It's helpful, don't get me wrong, it helps with boost, but unless they're stalking and just waiting there for like minutes, they're not going to get that max stock in time. Now, does this mean it's bad? No, it is still very helpful. It boosts your damage in exchange for stalking them. Well, there's no exchange, it just boosts your damage. Stocky's Pounce now deals 42 damage, was 28, basically M1. However, it is no longer affected by the damage specialist stock meter and has an increased 4-second cooldown per successful pounce, was 2. This means that when pouncing, it ignores the stock meter of the person, but it does a whopping 42 damage. This is actually very good since it now gives a clear payoff. However, there's also an increased 2 seconds waiting to be able to pounce again. This is also a understandable payoff, hitting very hard for very good damage in exchange that you have to wait 4 seconds to be able to pounce again. Now, I still don't like that stock doesn't stock and is still basically just pounce unlock. Yes, stock has a stock meter now, but the main point of stock should be to also locate survivors, at least in a good distance, which yes, you can be like, oh, but it has aura reveal. You see, they have the glow. That's basically nothing, bro. You're never seeing that unless they're in your line of sight. Stock should, at the very least, see if survivors are on a machine or not. At the very least, because I feel like stock should actually be able to stalk people and not just pounce, unlock, but better. Now, I think the kit right now is fine. Although, like I said, stock just needs to feel more like a stock than increased damage dealer. But it is what it is. Finally, though, before we move on, there is one actually extra that they did. Boxy Boo's arm ability no longer slows down the player it catches. Now, one of the main problems of the nerf Boxy Boo suggestion post was that the arm apparently was too OP. I mean, first of all, I don't think it's that OP. And second of all, it's supposed to be strong, because if it's not strong, then Boxy Boo can't kill people. But it no longer slows them down, which means that specialists can run away. But, you know, Boxy Boo still has his massive jump that he can use to catch up, and his attack cooldown is very fast. So it's a nerf, but it also doesn't completely ruin the arm or rework or anything. So I think that's a very fair balance change. You know, make everyone happy. Nerf it while also keeping it essentially the same. Now, moving on to machines, we have Fix the Memory Puzzle Skip. I don't entirely know what that means, but cool, I guess. Reduce the dot count per memory puzzle pattern to 6 was 8. Now, if you don't know, this puzzle right here has a lot less patterns. It used to be slightly larger or longer, but they reduced it, I'm guessing because it was a little too difficult for some people to keep fully memorize, which is fine. And lastly, I couldn't fix the college puzzle skip. Well, I mean, look, skipping college is a very difficult thing to micro. So, if you want to fix the college puzzle skip, you gotta remember, in order to do so, you need the money. But the money gets stolen by college. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure you'll find this in the next balance patch, trust me. Anyways, now let's move on to the most important part of the entire balance change, which is the first thing, the map changes. Now, if you played Bite by Night, you know that the maps are absolutely god awful, with unbelievable god loops, check spots, and basically no anti-loop besides traps. So basically, Mimic is Timmy Tickle Time all the time. Ennard's Wire Eyes is the only reason he ever gets a chance, and Springtrap is Springtrap. So anyway, but as stated, maps are one of the most important parts of balancing, and if they are not properly balanced, then it will be extremely unfair. I think the maps were somewhat balanced, but more leaning to the survivor side. So with these changes, they made it so the killers are actually able to anti-loop without being consistently like having to run back and forth. So, first change, opened up some walls in the factory map along with other changes. This should help reduce the strength of some loops. Now, the factory map, I don't know, cause like I think it was moderately fair. I think there may be at most just a couple cut loops on the bottom. We'll get into why this is a problem though. Moving on. Remove the speed boost effects on the invisible barrier and sewing string rack in the factory. I mean, I didn't even know that existed, but alright. Fix the jump pad that allowed players to jump up onto the top floor of the I kept looking for this. What jump pad? How do you get up there? I think I'm blind or something. There's supposed to be someone to get up there. I just don't know how. I think I'm just blind, bro. I could have sworn I checked everywhere. Am I blind, or are you just not supposed to get up there? Because I know Mommy Longa is get up there easily, but like I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Can someone explain it to me? I don't understand. Anyway, added invisible barriers around the factory map's pull-down pipe that stops players from pulling down the pipe in safer locations. Instead, they must be downstairs with the pipe. This is a very good change. If you know that the pull-down pipe is very close to areas on top, which makes killers like Huggy and Stocky very easy to deal with because of constantly having a way to go around or a way to get down. With this, now players actually have to stay down and pull the what's it called, the pull down pipe, without actually just getting a free loop change or this or that. Killers will still have a difficult time with this multiple survivors, but it is much easier and better than just everyone just being on the top floor and then by the time they run they just fall down and back and forth banter. Change the locations of the stage dash handles in theater. No more flying out of the stage drop down hole. Now, if you don't know, the Huggy Wuggy head cutout had little like bars on the side. If you aimed it perfectly enough, if I remember correctly, you're able to just jump right out, which deletes everyone but Mommy Longlegs entirely. So, you know, absolutely busted change. I'm glad they fixed it so it's less, you know, less broken. Now, let's talk about the anti-loops. Now, a lot of the map layouts were changed so survivors will have an easier time. Oh, hold on. Not get completely running around in a circle over and over again the entire match. So, before these changes, some of the maps had really broken loops. So, I'm glad this update changed them. But I'm also not glad these updates changed them. You might be wondering, how? Isn't anti-loop a good thing? Take a look at this. And take a look at this. This isn't anti-loop. This is more, what the hell's the point of this door here? You're just, what's the hell's the, you're like what the hell's the point? Genuinely. Like these are not anti-loops, okay? These are not anti-loops. These are just like, what the hell's the point? Like, he did say that Eiden did say, I did talk in the general chat, eventually just said like, hey, these loops are not loops. He said, okay, well, they're supposed to be crawl spaces, so it slows down the killer. Fair enough. Still, the theater one was extremely broken. Apparently the other one nearby was pretty bugged. This loop right here was pretty bugged. It's supposed to slow you down. I think he fixed. The next day he fixed it. But I mean, you have eyes, right? You're saying this, right? This isn't even an ant. This isn't even like what that's supposed to. This is just killer ignores the entire thing completely. What that literally. This is not even just exaggeration. Literally, what the hell is the point of this door? If the survivors waste time going through the door and the killers have a significantly better chance of attacking you, what the hell is the point of the door? I need someone to explain to me. The other one, I would prefer the bugged crouch than whatever the hell this is. This isn't even an anti-loop. This isn't even this is literally a waste of time, and you're never going through this door, because if you do, you're basically getting a free hit M1. Like, you see this? Oh, they're gonna go this way? Okay, okay, when they juke, I'll just hit them right there. But no, wait, what if they try to juke me again and just go backwards? I'll just hit him again. There's nowhere he can go where I won't get a free M1 hit. I don't understand. What the hell is the point of this loop? This isn't even a loop. Like, what the hell? Like, you could have just... It wasn't even that bad of a loop. It wasn't literally not that bad. Stairs exist. You could just go up there. It's still slowing you down a little bit, but still. What the hell was the point of adding this door? And not to mention that they removed the door on the stairs in exchange for this. I'm not complaining too much. I think that's somewhat fine, you know, especially since there's like a handlebar up on the stairs. But still, what the general hell was the point of this door? Now, before I look, I know that you're trying to anti-loop But this isn't even anti-loop anymore. You get the frustration at this point, right? Okay. They did do some good though, because like I said, there are some spots where it's like, yes, it's understandable that the anti-loop exists there, and it's very helpful. Now, another thing is the lamp. The lamps, you can just see for yourself. Yeah, seems pretty normal. Now, here's the thing though. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I actually think they could make it part of the game as not really an anti-loop, but a second path. For example, in the winter holiday chapter for Piggy with the TSP, those little, when you get into the top of when you get up the ladder, those little, like, I don't know what they're called, those little platforms, they could actually change those lampposts for platforms where you have to be smart, know how to run, how to jump and everything, how to time the jumps perfectly, but if you get it, you get rewarded. Or just make an entire path where it's like, just add wood planks or add pipes, something like that, so they can just walk on it completely. And maybe add like a little break wall in the middle so they can be able to walk past it as well. I think this would make a very good change, because if the killer goes on one side, you can close the door and it doesn't feel like a what the hell's the point, but an actual anti-loop. I think that it would be interesting enough for a concept like that to be in an ASIM game. But if you end up removing it, that's Eiden. If you end up removing it, that's fine, I guess. I don't know why. I just really like the parkour. I don't know. I'm a terrible obby person, but I really like jumping on this stuff and whatnot. Okay, so I had to check the other additional patches. So if anything, I'm just gonna, just read through it real quick. Fixed monsters carrying ghost players when the player they are carrying leaves. Now, if you don't know, when you get a survivor and you're just running with them, taking them to the deposit, they leave and it bugs. So where you have to like click the M1 or click R to drop them, quote unquote drop them, and then they're gone. They fixed this so that if they leave, it'll automatically set you back to normal. This is so they can't rage quit and make you waste seconds being like, what the hell happened? I think they might have also fixed the bug where whenever a survivor leaves the deposit, it still says revive needed, and it just never happens. You can't revive them. Remove the dummy player model from the lobby. Apparently they accidentally put a player dummy model. I was never there for it. I was asleep or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, fixed factory map spots and theater spots. Well, as we just discussed, they were indeed not fixed. Increase Stocky's crouch movement speed by 2 and stalking movement speed by 1.5. This means that Stocky is a bit faster at doing his job. Understandable. Fixed stock, you're not being able to instantly down a specialist that is fully stocked. Damn, people actually got into full stock. Okay. You know what? I may be wrong, Eden. Apparently you can get them to full stocked, I guess. Fixed Huggy, not being able to pick up players. Avoid playing as Huggy until... Okay, well. Yeah, I'll probably leave that out. If I'm not lazy, I'll probably just leave that out. Fixed Factory Camp Spot. I think there might be a couple camp spots, but I don't know. Slightly buffed the useless door in theater. And buffed Mommy's grappling speed by 2. Now... Mommy. Mommy's an interesting character because... she is a... You're never gonna juke her. You're never gonna like make her fall off because her grappling ability completely deletes chases entirely. But in exchange, she will never catch up to anyone for the life of her. If you can outrun her, you can outrun her. Nothing to it. So her grapple got made slightly faster, so when pulling, they can actually be even faster than a survivor, which is very, very good. Her aura read is the only other thing that makes Mommy a good kit. They did buff Factory, like I said in the document. They buffed Mommy. They didn't buff Mommy. They buffed the Factory. They changed the Factory so Mommy has an easier time traversing on it. You see this right here? Yeah. So I can just, if Sora's like, oh, I'm gonna close the door on you, I could just get up here, walk or whatever, and then just hop right back up. This means I don't have to take the long way, go around the gate, they get to close it again. Instead, I just get to jump right over and force them to continue on to the other path like they should. And if I choose to go the other way, that's when I'm like, okay, I'll wait back. But it actually gives a very good change. It's actually a very good change, especially since Mommy Longlegs is never going to catch up to anyone for the life of her, but will delete chases entirely. Now, lastly, they changed spots for the deep deposit stations. I think these were pretty, and toy parts too. Deposit station and toy parts. I think these were pretty interesting changes. You know, make it easier, make it harder. It depends on how you see it. It really depends. It really just depends. Some of the layouts, like some of the walls, got shortened, and there's some proper anti-loop, etc., etc. I think these are very good changes, and hope to see more. Alright, that's about it for the changes. If there's any more, I'll let you know. But essentially, that's just everything stated. I'll put on some screenshots of Eiden saying that he's gonna fix some stuff, and that's basically it. That's all the changes. I think these are pretty good changes. Like I said, there are some spots that they need to fix really badly. There's some spots are just not even loops anymore. They're just like, what the hell? Otherwise, I think this is a very good balance change. I know they're waiting for Season 1 overhaul to really get into the balance changes. So until then, I'm gonna take what I have so far. Still say that if you whoever thought of this loop, get some help. Alright, that's about it for the video. So, I don't know, I could extend this. You know what? Here, have a random video of me absolutely clapping a hacker Huggy.